It often seemed to me that our life was unreal, and I summoned the anthropologist to make it seem otherwise. When I was younger, in high school, and going through the college application process and beginning to think about my future and what career path I wanted to pursue and what things I wanted to study, I felt like I had many options ahead of me. But the one thing that I was always sure about is that I really enjoy learning about human society. So most of my college career was learning about the interdisciplinary field of the social sciences, so psychology and sociology and political science and anthropology. Oftentimes, when trying to existentially explore my purpose in life and to try and find meaning and what it is that I should be doing, I'd often pretend that I am an alien inside a human's body who has been sent to Earth to gather evidence and to research and just to learn as much as I can about humans and how they live. This is how I would approach life and learning. And perhaps like psychologically, you might say that that's disassociation, that I'm not very connected with my body. But I think even spiritually, I find comfort in feeling like I am a soul. This body that I'm in is temporary. It's one that I've been given and one that I'm fortunate to have. But June as a soul is really here in this form to learn and to observe and to gather as much information as I can about our world. Reading this book was a very good reminder and very validating of those thoughts and those feelings that I have. The book is called The Anthropologists, and it's by a Turkish author named Ayşegül Savaş. Genre-wise, this book is contemporary fiction. It was released in 2024, so it's very recent and very modern. It follows a young married couple in their 20s, late 20s or early 30s who are immigrants and expats in a foreign unnamed city. So the author doesn't reveal where in the world they are or where they're from. Asya, who is a documentary filmmaker, and her husband Manu, who has a pretty traditional office job. The story is narrated from her point of view as she has these thoughts and realizations and observations about how they are navigating and fitting into the city and the kinds of relationships that they're building with friends and the people around them. At the beginning of this story, they decide that they want to buy an apartment, and so that apartment hunting kind of structures the rest of the story and provides structure as plot. So it's not fast-paced or plot-driven or climactic in any way. I think it's more about just finding the preciousness in the mundane and in the everyday rituals that we have as people, whether you're single or whether you're coupled. It's something I've often thought about, even though I am single, what life would look like with someone, because I guess I've moved around so much and I have taken a bit from every culture that I've lived in and experienced. I wonder then what rituals would matter to me the most. With someone else in my life, I wonder what festivals would be celebrated, what routines would be established in our lives, what kind of diet the both of us would follow. I like the idea of experimenting and only adopting what's meaningful to me. 2 years ago, after my parents had moved back to Nepal, it was the first time that I celebrated Tihar, which is one of the biggest festivals in Nepal, because every other year I depended on my mom to just do the rituals and to organize it, and I'd just be there to watch and observe and partake and briefly pray to the gods and then eat the delicious food. But when I had to do it myself, it felt really good because I realized that faith and those traditions didn't have to be done with such rigidness, and that I could enjoy the celebration of it and the symbolism of it by keeping it simple and minimal and associating my own meaning and value to it. The story also explores the experience of an immigrant and how distance from their home countries can creates some sense of loneliness, and especially distance from your parents. I liked one line where she writes, or she says, that the heartbreak of a parent's visit is that our lives felt strange to them. I find that very relatable. Oftentimes, even over video call and phone calls, we'll talk about what we've eaten and routines that we have, and then my parents will try to give their input and suggestions on perhaps we should do things this way because that's what they're used to. But my siblings and I, having grown up mostly abroad, we don't find familiarity in the same things that my parents do. Yeah, I'm sure that our lives feel very strange to them. Some weeks ago, my sisters and I were on a video call, and my older sister mentioned how one of her friends raised the question, if you could be anything in your next life, what would you want to be? And my sister's response to that was she would want to not be an immigrant. You're always torn between two different places, feeling like you could be doing more for the place in which you grew up, being far away from your parents, and how many decisions in your life have to revolve around whether you can take time off of your work, any festivals that you celebrate, any major occasions or events that you want to be together for, revolves around distance and where you are, the different lives that you've built in different parts of the world. And I thought about how I would answer that question. As much as I agree with my sister and that being an immigrant is really difficult in so many ways, it's a privilege for me to have been able to experience so many different places and have done it in a way where I didn't have to struggle as much as other people do. Another reason I enjoyed reading this is because I think I found a lot of familiarity in Asia and how she views the world. It's actually the author who created this character and in whom she is conveying her own worldviews. It was nice to read this book because I think it's also now inspired me to write my own. My hesitancy with writing a book of my own is that would anything be original? What could I offer that someone else hasn't? Having read this book now, it's kind of validated my belief. So yeah, even though I have written and I occasionally write about my own experiences, I think one day I will definitely write a proper book. It serves as a really good reminder that our lives don't necessarily have to have a greater purpose. There is beauty in just staying where you are, observing the world around you, taking in what you can from it. It's written very simply and not convoluted in any way. It just invites rumination and meditation on your own life and asks questions of what routines matter to you, what rituals matter to you in your life, and how should time be spent, and what does it mean to spend time. It's a very nice, gentle read, and again, a really good reminder. Pay attention to the mundane and the routine, because at the end of the day, these are the things that make up our lives by seconds and minutes and hours. Thank you for watching my 5th book review. I struggle with consistency only when it's with things that I don't enjoy or things that feel forced, and this has not felt forced in any way. I've been very excited to make these book reviews. I don't really know if it's helped me to become more articulate, but I do think it has given me more reasons to continue reading and exploring different aspects of what makes a story a good story. That's all for this one.